Fantasy football is my religion.
Smile!
Because I love Brad.
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
All I see are lies and collusion. This whole season is nuts.
Giddy on up and giddy on out.
One-on-one, I'm undefeated, never lost.
Good morning, fellas. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Gravy, the official podcast of the Kappa Sigma Alumni Football League, hosted by me, your currently undefeated in 2014 Buddy Champion, and also your official Mark Andrews lover, and also currently undefeated fantasy juggernaut, Stu. How you doing this morning, Stu?
I'm doing great, guy. We've got a big show for you guys today. We've got the League Juggernauts, which we've got a large number for this week. We've got the Ambulance Report. We've got our League Consensus Power Rankings, Collusion Corner. We've got WAB Lottery, Laura Bell Bundy, and Brad and Stu's very biased podcast. Matchup predictions. We may even have a special guest today. We'll see how that works out here in a minute.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. So, Brad, first up, we've got our fantasy juggernauts. What do we got this week?
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Well, Stu, in order to be a fantasy juggernaut, you have to be a team that scores 130-plus points and win. And our top juggernaut this week was Mo, 162.88 points. His MVP was the Patriots' defense. My gosh, 37 freaking points. The Dolphins are a dumpster fire inside a dumpster fire. Lamar Jackson is still a superstar in week 2. Coming in underneath Mo, we got CoPro with 138.26 points. His MVP of Dalvin Cook, and he was cooking it with 29.6 points. Also learned you never bench Mahomes. Number 3, we got Dixon, the 137.14 points. Julio was his peak with 28.1. Aaron Jones had a big comeback game, a much-needed game for Dixon. And then Stu wraps up in number 4 with 130.96 points. His MVP was Dak Prescott, once again with another 30-burger, 32.66. And Barkley is still pretty darn good. A small consolation prize for Adam Shepard, who scored over 130 points, but he was 3 points shy. The Cleveland Browns defense just couldn't come back and get him those points. He made it close, and CoPro sweated every minute of it.
Every second, every last second of that.
How is your morning going, Stu? Did you have any Victory Mountain Dew today?
Oh, 2, as a matter of fact. I did. I had 2 Victory Mountain Dews this morning. They were absolutely delicious. I got a victory on the gridiron here for the league, and I got a victory over you for our bet of the week. So I'm excited about that.
Ooh, 2 for 2.
How was your morning, Brad?
Well, today is great, Stu. I narrowly got a win, and I have donut shop coffee coursing through my veins. I also have a confession. My next son may have to be named Odell Chubb Lucas. After last night's miracle comeback, I don't think I have a choice. Now, there are some players that will not be making a comeback. Injuries were out in full force this week, Stu. Can you give us this week's ambulance report?
All right, injuries this week. Big Ben Roethlisberger, right elbow UCL tear, out for the year. I know his coach came out stating that yesterday, as a matter of fact, that he had been having some issues with it, but they didn't fear anything like this. Suffered a non-contact right elbow injury on his throwing arm in Sunday's loss to the Seahawks. He'll undergo Tom John surgery. I've never heard that. I guess that's what this is, and it's going to be – he's already been placed on the IR. He faces 9 to 12 months of recovery time.
He's having Tommy John.
Yep.
And it's what pitchers usually have in baseball. And Jake Delhomme with the Panthers actually had this injury. Got called out by Mort. from Ole Espen. And, Jake, the next year actually made a better comeback. His arm's actually stronger, and he led the Panthers to the playoffs, and I think he had his best year yet. But that's a terrible injury for this year, like shut down, not coming back. I think Juju will still get all the targets. Big downgrade for everyone else. I would even do a small little tick down on James Conner because he's going to have the box stacked up against him.
Every time.
Mason Rudolph, the backup quarterback's going to come in and prove that he can beat coverage.
I'm at least interested in this because with Rudolph, his rookie contract's about up. They finally are going to get to see a chance. They're going to get a chance to see what he's made of. Because otherwise they were just going to have to let him go and go on free agency. They weren't going to pay him without actually needing him yet. So this may work out in the Steelers' favor to find out if they need to do an extension for this guy, if he's going to actually be the backup to Ben whenever Ben finally retires. So it'll be interesting to see. I've got some, I'm at least watching him. He's going to make the Steelers, can't make them any worse than what they've started off with. So next up, we've got Drew Brees, right thumb UCL sprain, out for at least 6 weeks. That's minimum.
Yeah, I don't think he comes back till 8 weeks. They say there's going to be at least 2 weeks of rehab after the 6 weeks of healing. Like you said, the players are going to be players impacted here, Stu. Teddy Bridgewater is going to get the first shot. He'll get the full week of practice. Michael Thomas is still going to be heavily targeted. I personally think a downtick in Jared Cook. Some people may think it may be an uptick because he might be a safety valve for Teddy. But I think Teddy's safety valve is going to be Alvin Kamara down low. But I don't see it good for the running backs. It did not look good for the running backs without Drew Brees present in the huddle. I wouldn't be surprised if after a week of Teddy, they decide to go ahead and give Taysom Hill the keys to the car and see what he can do.
We'll see. They're not putting him on IR because they want to take the chance that he's going to get to come back earlier rather than later. But I don't know that that's actually going to happen. It's going to be close. We'll just have to. So Shep can't even put him on IR. He's got to waste the bench spot on him, or just drop him to the waiver and see if some other team wants to hold on to him for a while. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I just dropped Breeze.
Yeah, that's me too. Devin Singletary, left hamstring strain, week to week. Singletary continues to look effective when given opportunities alongside with Frank Gore. However, Bills are likely to be without him for at least a week. He left early in that game. He's likely to miss at least week 3, maybe more. You're just going to have to keep watching him really closely.
Yeah, and I'm convinced now Frank Gore's a vampire. He's just sucking the life force out of other younger running backs.
He goes to a different team every year and just keeps keys eternal.
I guarantee you that if Frank Gore goes out to a restaurant, he always asks for no garlic.
Oh, for sure. No. Yeah, you probably don't see his image in the mirror. So next up,
good because it's old.
It's old. It's very old. So next up, we got James Conner, left knee hyperextension, possible bone. I'm pretty sure they came out yesterday and said he does have a bone bruise. He is week to week. It's going to be close. He should be able to play this week. It's going to be pain management at this point. Samuels has got a shot, but we'll see here. I don't know how that's really going to work out. He may play through it. He may hurt himself more, and it be all Samuels. There's no real telling.
Yeah, he'll get a good old cortisone shot. I think it'll be more of a running back by committee. I would not be surprised if we didn't see a little bit of rookie Benny Snell. Benny Snell played at Kentucky, and he was their workhorse there, and he was darn good. So it'll be exciting to see if Benny Snell gets a little action. He was not very good in preseason, but once again, he's a rookie. So that can happen. It probably took a while. It could take a while for some of the system and the playbook. So keep an eye out on Benny Snell. But, yeah, Jalen Samuels, who's already owned, could be in for a big workload if James Conner gets shut down.
Yep. And then we got Damian Williams. The injuries this week have just gone on and on and on. He's got a knee contusion day to day. Williams went down late in week 2, win over the Raiders with right knee injury. Didn't return, had an MRI. Expected to be limited throughout practice this week. He has a good shot to play, but you're just going to have to keep watching his injuries and see what's going on.
You know what? I mean, Vince owns Damian Williams. Good thing he owns LaShawn McCoy. Oh, wait, what? LaShawn McCoy's hurt too, Stu?
Yeah, he suffered what looked like a minor ankle sprain, had an MRI. Results are still unknown, so possibly could be okay. Could be just they're just not talking. They don't want to give away their strategy that it's going to just be solidly McCoy. One of them will play. Somebody will play, but they're not probably going to give it away very easily.
I think Patrick Mahomes will be a safe start. I think he'll just throw more.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, that entire wide receiver core is going nuts right now. So I don't see why you wouldn't. And
every single one of them has a nickname. Every single one of them has the nickname Barry Allen.
Pretty much. They all are doing great. Why not let your running backs rest for a week and see what they got? So next up, we've got my guy, Josh Jacobs. Groin sprain week to week. Yeah, not great. Not a great thing for a running back. It also lingers throughout the year. Didn't report exactly what was going on to anybody, which has not been fun for me. The man needed 1 yard, and could have got me 3 extra points. But I just, hope he's doing well. He's, been phenomenal. You can't be upset at the guy for 30 points in the first 2 weeks. Hopefully he's back this week, but there's no real telling. Tyrell Williams.
You might just take it easy on him.
Yeah.
You said there's. And Tyrell Williams, you said he looks like he has a hit pointer still. He's out 1 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, got banged up against the Chiefs. Currently dealing with that pointer injury. Has a chance to play in week 3, but probably more realistically out until week 4. Probably to be safe. I mean, why hurt the guy? Your team's already a dumpster fire. Why rush back one of your only good wide receiver options?
Yeah, you know who that helps out?
Waller.
That helps out.
I know.
The Walrus.
I know the Walrus. I know you're so excited. And then next up we've got Michael Gallup, which, the dude's been on fire. Left knee meniscus tear, out 2 to 4 weeks.
Is also on fire.
Yeah, apparently everybody's meniscus is hurting. That's what I'm hearing, because that has been meniscus is the hot word in the NFL right now or something, because I swear there's been 6 guys this year already that have had either a scrape, a tear, a reshaping, a clean, just jeez. But he's set to have he had surgery yesterday. So we'll see what that happens. I mean, in Dynasty, Shep's still going to be happy. It may take a little while for him to get back, and you may just drop him for right now. We'll see what you want to do there.
Yeah, and then we had King Joffrey here, Stu, Mr. Alshon Jeffrey. He decided to lay a goose egg for Day-Day and support the cause of making Brad victorious.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did it via calf strain. What's going on with the calf?
Well, I'm pretty sure they turned Monday Night Football into WWE because half of that team got hurt in the first quarter. Alshon was one of them. Got a calf strain. He's week to week this week. Notable to his history he has previous soft tissue issues. He's just adding one more to the list, really. He's probably going to take this week off, possibly a couple of weeks, but I really think it's just this week, and then he'll be back. His cohort and my flex play for also 0 points for the week, Deshaun Jackson.
Groin!
Yeah, apparently my team just decided to hurt their groins this week. I got the victory, but everybody had to put a little too much effort in, and so he's week to week as well. Bad luck just continues for the Eagles. Their offensive wide receiver weapons just keep going down more and more and more. So,
Stu,
what is it, Brad?
They're gonna pull something eventually.
Yeah, he needed a rest from that week 1 blow up that I had on my bench. So, he saw I put him in, and so he just needed to rest it up. Also,
and then we had
also on my
David
bench,
Njoku with a nasty injury.
Oh,
It's a concussion.
if you did
that
not
hit was just horrendous.
if you did not see that hit, literally go find that on YouTube. Like that dude is getting a fine. Pay attention to who the defensive player is. That dude is gonna get. We're gonna get a notice for a fine this week because that thing was dirty.
Oh yeah, I mean they did that was aimed at. And, I mean,
Yeah.
good, I thought he broke his neck for a second. Oh
Yeah,
man.
it was nasty. He's week to week, or he's day to day at this point. He should probably make it out of the protocol this week. Might not. We'll just see. He's a touchdown dependent guy anyways, so we will. I hope he stays out a little while, gets healthy, and goes from there. But we'll see what happens. All right, Brad. That is all our injuries for the week. That long-winded list of injuries. It's been rough on the league for 2 solid weeks here, and so hopefully this can just calm down, get this big injury spree over with, and Sam Bradford can calm the hell down.
I agree. So Stu, what's going on in Dynasty? We'll make a small little trip to our little Dynasty world, see what's going on.
Week 2 predictions. We were wrong all around. I think maybe Dixon won against Rod. I haven't double-checked that one.
We're victorious.
Yeah, and then, it's just, the Pats just destroyed everybody's fantasy week. Adam won. He's super excited about that. Glad I think does anybody in our league have 2 wins, or is everybody 1-1 in that league?
I think everybody might be 1-1, but all I know is Adam beat me so good I woke up with 2 black eyes.
He was it's David and Goliath situation there, and he was swinging those stones, and he knocked you down. This week we've got me and you versus each other. You have a 71% chance of beating me, is what Sleeper says. We'll see about that. I've got to go for that repeat and see if I can pull it off. We've got Adam versus Matt, which is the Shet Bowl. It shows 68% chance that Matt's going to win, but Adam has a early season record of taking down juggernauts.
Watch out for them stones, Matt.
And then we've got Rod versus B-Dub. Rod has a 53% chance of beating B-Dub. He's on a regrowing year, and so hopefully he can pull off some more wins. He's 1-1 like most of the rest of us, so it's anybody's ball game at this point. And then we've got Dixon over Puva at 59%. Dixon's got a pretty good team. He's sneaky, trying to be top half of the league. So we'll see what we've got. And
I think our special guest is ready, Stu.
Is he shown up? Let's see.
Let's see. I'm waiting for our special guest to unmute himself, and he is present. We want to introduce y'all to the first edition of the Guru Corner this season with Mr. Adam Shepard, 2-time Bundy champion. How are you doing, Adam?
I'm doing great. Good afternoon, Bundy brothers.
And Adam, you said you had a proposition because we kind of have a rival podcast between with us and another podcast hosted by 2 other members. They're winless. They're both 0-2, but you had an idea to bring up some type of gauntlet?
Well, I have a prepared message.
What do we got?
May I?
Go right ahead.
This is to the league in general and also to you 2 gentlemen. My fellow Bundy League brothers, there comes a time in every man's life when he must cast off the mediocrity that surrounds him. I will be taking my talents to a new podcast more commensurate with my extensive and effusive abilities, Guru. God has so graciously given me with those abilities that I'm here to throw down in the gauntlet, Brad and Stu. Podcast versus podcast picks every week going forward. Losers wear tutus to next year's draft. I hereby guarantee a victory for the Get Some Fantasy Podcast, the true podcast of note for the true league of note.
All right.
What do you say to that, Stu?
Oh, they're on. Oh, this isn't even funny. We just went 6 for 6 in our predictions. Those 2 don't know how to predict their own lineups right now. So I am totally down for this. Gauntlet accepted.
All right.
Right,
Challenge
for you,
was sent
you
out to
boys.
you, Matt and Lovick, out at Rocky Patel's studio. Let's see if y'all just smoke or if y'all got some fire.
All right. Thank you for our special guest, I think. But, all right. Sounds like Brad and I have got some predictions to make, biased or otherwise. All right. Next up, Brad, we've got our league consensus rankings. Who do we have at number 12? Oh, look who it is.
It's Matt.
Oh, it sounds like he's part of that Get Some podcast, and he's at number 12. Man, those predictions sound like they're going to win over real easily this year.
We got at number 11.
Oh, look, it's Lovick, also the co-host of the Get Some podcast. Yeah, I'm super worried about their prediction skills. Maybe they're using all of their ability to predict other teams instead of their own lineups.
Hey, Stu.
Yeah.
You know what the Get Some podcast needs?
What's
they need
that?
to get some wins.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, they're hunting for him because they're trying to make trades. They're trying to make waiver wire pickups, and we're definitely going to talk about that here in a little bit. So
Coming at number 10, we have Mr. Rodney Frederick.
You know, he didn't stay high in the he wasn't high in the rankings last year, and that was or last week, and that was with a win. So with a loss this week, he just moved on down. So his team is struggling a little bit, but he is trying to get there and trying to make those good waiver wire pickups.
And then coming in at number 9, we have Day Day, who almost got a win last week. He does not like Odell Beckham or Nick Chubb, and I'm assuming he's writing them hate poetry right now as we speak.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. So you know, there are 4 people in our league that don't have any wins, and that's Lovick, Matt, Adam, and Day. And somehow Rodney is lower than Day with 0 wins. So I'm not sure how this ranking, if you're just looking at teams and saying people just had a tough matchups in the first couple of weeks. I mean, I will say
it could be.
I
think people just looking at the overall roster.
I guess so. So next up, we've got Vince at number 8.
Number 8.
So you know he's having he got a win this week. Didn't really move anywhere in the consensus rankings. His team is interesting, but with all these injuries, he's going to struggle a little bit, and then buys are coming up. So we'll see how this works out for him.
Yeah, he needs to hope Malcolm Brown has a meeting with Sam Bradford so he gets some more target early touches. And then coming at number 7, we got Adam,
the guru
ourselves, the guru himself, who came in just earlier and laid down a gauntlet between podcast and podcast. I like Adam's team. I like Godwin. I like Ridley. 2 young, up-and-coming receivers. And you know what? The last time Adam won a Bundy championship, he had 2 young, up-and-coming running backs. So maybe this year he's going a little bit different.
He probably could have, have an even better team if he still had Brandon Cooks and Lamar Jackson. But, that's just my own personal thought.
And then what's going on? We have number 6. We have Dixon.
Dixon with the big win this week. So he's coming on up. He seems to be doing really well, like his team have pretty much this entire time. So I'm glad to see he got a win. Got to face him this week, so I've got to knock him back down. But do think he does have a good team.
Dixon, if you have room, I would consider picking up Benny Snell, just in case, since you're the James Conner owner. And then the man with the jacket, the man with the new boat, Sammy with an eye, Woodhouse again. He comes in at number 5.
Yeah. He had a rough loss to me. His team underperformed a little bit this week with Christian McCaffrey, not Christian McCaffrey, but with Kamara having that weird game because Breeze went down. May have a little bit of issues coming up, but I still overall I think he's got a good team. he should
and
still.
Carson fumbled and got benched for it, so I would expect Carson to be back getting the starting gig next.
Yeah,
And then number 4, the guy who beat Sam, we have you, Stu.
Yep, I'm good with 4. I'm as long I'll stay 4 all year long. I'm really okay with that, and stay in the playoff hunt, and that's all I want. So we've then got Brad next at number 3. It seems really strange that the top 4 teams are the 4 teams that don't have any losses this year. It's funny like that. So you know,
feels good.
You
feels
know,
good to be top 4.
Everybody pretty much thought Brad had a juggernaut team starting the year. He may have had a close call this week, but still getting those wins. That's what matters.
A win is a win. And speaking of winning, and they love to do burnouts, he got through the finish line barely with a 3-point win. CoPro comes in at number 2. Good job, sir. The Cleveland Browns defense gave you a scare. You were cursing like a sailor on the group me, but all good. All is good and well. You, sir, are ranked number 2.
I mean, a couple of sacks, a fumble. I mean, he would have just ruined his day. He was nail biting the entire time. Adam was chopping at the bit trying to get that win. So, I did like it, but it'll be interesting. So then we've got Mo, the juggernaut himself, the king of juggernauts this week, with 160 points. That Patriots defense just took Miami to the shop. I mean, just took them to the yard.
I was going to say, with Mo, he is the fantasy juggernaut, and the New England Patriots, guess who they face this week? They face the New York Jets in New England and their third-string quarterback. I expect him to have another big week from the Patriots defense. That alone with the rest of his team is just too much to overcome. I don't know who faces Mo next week. I haven't looked yet, but whoever's facing Mo next week, good luck.
That would be Rod. So yeah, it's gonna be nuts. Rodney faces him next week. Not sure what's going on there. It's gonna be crazy. So that is it for our consensus rankings this week. We're going to go ahead and move to our collusion corner. Trade upset, crazy trades of the week. What do we got, Brad?
Well, let's see here. Rod traded Mark Andrews to Stu for Marvin Jones. When it was first done, we all kind of looked at it and go, oh, you know what? Stu needs a tight end. Rod needs a flex player. Seems pretty even. But now, George Kittle has only had 54 yards receiving in 2 straight games. And Mark Andrews looks like freaking Gronkowski. Big week for Stu. We'll see what happens. It's only 2 weeks in. But Mark Andrews looks like he's for real. And then another trade we had. CoPro trades Tom Brady and David Montgomery to Shep. But he gets Michael Thomas in return. Basically, I look at it, he already has Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady's expendable. Good trade for parties. This is a rare one where you see big names move and both parties make their team better. So good job, CoPro. Good job, Matt. That was some good thinking out of the box. It looks like a trade embargo is just not on this year, Stu.
Nope. I think he's finally going to remove the embargo completely. I think he's going to try to do smart, improving moves because his team's good. He's got the wins. He's not having to do a panic trade like he has in years past. So I think this is a new, confident Koprovic, which most of us aren't used to seeing. So I think he's doing some great moves, doing what he needs to do to make his team better every single week. So I think he's doing great. All right, next up we've got our WAB Lotto. All right, that was crazy. Crazy. What is going on with that?
Well, let's just see this. Day, Rod, Mo, Vince, and CoPro, and yourself also have 100 in the bank. Sam has 90. Adam has 86. Hey, that was the year I was born. And I had 83. Dixon has 68. Lovick has 38. And Matt has 37. I think 37 was the year Day Day was born. So, yeah, Not much left in the bank for any of the teams. Lubbock went a little crazy with multiple players. Matt went 63 all in on TJ Hawkinson and put up a dud this week, but I expect better weeks ahead for TJ Hawkinson.
I know, that feels so dirty for 63 points. The fact and then insult to injury is that Dixon picked up Greg Olson that Matt had just dropped for him, and then he scored 17 points.
Freaking old Greg. I mean, he forced Matt to drink some Baileys from his shoe on that one.
Oh, for sure. God, that was rough.
Is Greg Olson now Matthew Shepard's Danny Woodhead?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
Hey, it's official.
Yeah. Put it on the board. I mean, that's official right there for sure.
Put it on the board. Speaking of board, what's next?
We've got our Laura Bell Bundy big board of bets.
Giddy on up and giddy on out.
We have got a bunch of them that completed themselves because Drew Brees or Ben Roethlisberger are out for the season. So there is one that was canceled because you guys did put a stipulation if there was a injury that the bet was voided. That was you bet that. Let's see here. Oh no! This is the yeah. Yours got voided because you guys bet that Big Ben was going to Matt said Big Ben was going to score more, was going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback this year, and you were like no, but that was barring injury, so that one was voided. We did have a controversy over a bet. Who scores more points over the fantasy season? Shep says Mitch Trubisky, Shep said Sam Darnold. Or no, either way.
Yeah, and,
it was Sam Darnold and Mitch Trubisky. They tried to get it voided. Sam came down with the law and said, no, this totally counts. The bet
Mono is not an injury.
Mono is not an injury. It is official. Mono is not an injury. So yeah, it's been a crazy week. We've got a water bet here that finished up. Who scores more fantasy points this season? Brad, you said Lamar Jackson. You were completely right in every way, shape, and form. And Matt said Big Ben. Well, with Big Ben being out, what was the what?
Yeah, Big Ben being out, Stu. I'm gonna win that one.
That is done. That is completely done.
Yeah, the total was 45.6 points so far from Lamar Jackson to Big Ben's 7.74.
Yeah,
so,
I think that was last week. That wasn't even this week.
It's even more now.
Yeah, it's even more. That was just last week. So I didn't even update the numbers because the bets are over because Big Ben is out. We also had Shep. Oh, this one is actually in. Yeah, Shep bet Big Ben will be a top 5 quarterback. Brad said no. Currently, he was 27. He's going to go a lot lower than that. So Brad won that one. There was another bet that was voided, and I think I just went ahead and deleted it. So don't know what that one is today. Don't really care anymore. But we do have a liquor bet. Breeze scores more passing touchdowns than Watson. Matt says Breeze. Brad said Watson. Yeah, if some miraculous miracle of the gods occurs and Drew Brees comes back and scores 40 touchdowns is about the only way that's going to occur. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Brad won that bet.
Yeah.
We will continue
and we'll just take a look at it later on the season.
We will monitor.
Injuries can happen to other people still, so.
We will, but most likely that one's over. But our more recent bets were Stu bet Dixon over Shep. Brad said Shep's going to win. Well, it looks like this week I took that bet. So Brad lost, and
I'm going to get wet.
Stu won. So I think we're 1 for 1 for bets right now, Brad. So I'll take that odds. I'm fine with that. And then Lovick and Matt also took a bet, and they took a bet on me versus Sam. Lovick said I was going to win. Matt said Sam was going to win. Well, looks like Matt's going to get wet for that one. So it is it's a crazy board. We've got 16 bets so far. we've got plenty more to go. I'm going to hit that 100 this year for sure. Brad, what do we got next?
Well, it looks like we got our biased matchup predictions, and these are important now because as long as it's accepted by Andrew and Matt, we got a gauntlet for who is the official podcast, the Kappa Sigma Alumni Fantasy Football League. So, Stu, you went 6 for 6 last week. I went 5 for 6.
Yep.
Pretty good percentages. Our first matchup we have is you and Dixon, Stu. Who's going to take it home?
I've got to lean myself here. We both got some questionable running backs. I've got to find a flex this week, but I still think my entire team between Barkley, the way Dak's playing right now, I think I've got this one over Dixon. Do you agree?
I agree. And our next matchup is Pro versus me. Whew, I got to face Mahomes. But the good news is Mahomes is facing Baltimore.
Yep.
Probably the best match. He's probably still going to score 30. But Baltimore's just going to stop from scoring 40. But he's also got Michael Thomas. It's going to be a tough matchup. Stu, who do you think takes this one home? Because according to Sleeper, if I'm not mistaken, well, I can't pull it up. So go ahead. Who do you think's going to win this one?
I actually am going to give this one to you. I don't think that Deshaun Jackson's going to have as rough a week. I really think you're going to have a much better time this week. I think you're going to be able to come back into the fantasy juggernaut arena, and I think Koprovic's going to have a little bit tougher time because Mahomes is going to have some tough times. Thomas is, yes, a good option for him, but he's got Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback now, not Drew Brees. So they are going to target Thompson. But, yeah, I'm going to give this one to you.
Okay. And the next one we have is Adam versus Day Day. One of these guys is getting their first win. Somebody's got to go to the win column. Who do you think it is, Stu?
I'd give it to Adam's team.
I'd give it to the Guru, too.
Yeah.
I think the Guru takes it home. Daddy, I'm sorry. I think you're going to start 0 for 3. The next matchup we have is 1-1 Sam versus 0-2 Matt. Who do you got?
Sammy with an eye without a thought.
I got to go, too. I think Chris Carson has a big bounce-back game. I think they lean more heavily on Alvin Kamara. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to go with that.
I mean, I think Shep will have better than 44 freaking points this week. He does have a quarterback now. He's got a better running back than what he did have. So he will have a better game, but I think Sammy with an eye is just going to have a monster game. So, yeah, that's where we're going. And then we've got Mo versus Rod. Mo's a juggernaut. He's going to stay a juggernaut, and Rodney is not going to be able to keep up.
I don't feel like going to the wound clinic for getting stabbed, so I'm going to go with Mo, too.
Yep.
I agree. Mo stays the top dog in the league.
All right, and then we've got Vince versus Lovick. Vince has been doing okay, but he's still doing significantly better than Lovick was. Lovick did have a kind of a comeback this week, but Mo, of course, was just too large of a lead on him. This is our game of the week for sure.
I agree. I think it's the game of the week, and I think Big City is going to barely edge this out.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning as well. So we've got Stu over Dixon, Brad over Koprovic, Adam over Day, Sam over Matt, Mo over Rod, and Vince over Lovick. Those are our very biased predictions of the week.
Yeah, very biased. That's all I got for this week, Stu. Do you have anything else?
Nope, I think that's it, guys. Thank you for listening to the official podcast of the Bundy League. We hope you guys have a great week. Good luck on waivers. I know they will probably be already up by the time you guys are listening to this, but hope they went well. Have a great one.
Yeah. Have a good week, y'all.